Happy February, friends. We are back to work on my calendar, my desk calendar. If you were here last month, you know that I did a trip to the Dollar Tree and I got this beautiful desk calendar. It was $1.50 at the Dollar Tree. And I was trying to figure out a way that I wanted to use this. So for the month of January, all I ended up doing was adding in my pay periods, my paychecks. January was a magic month for me, but now it's time for me to flip over to a new month, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to be using this desk calendar for the entire month of February and hopefully beyond if it works. So if you're interested in seeing how I'm going to use this desk calendar, stay tuned. Awesome. Thank you so much for staying. I'm really excited to show you this, and I think I'm going to just pull this off. I was trying to decide if I wanted to flip it back or whatever, but I think I'm just gonna pull it off, and let me fold it, and maybe I'll save this for, I don't know, this one's not written on, so I feel like this really doesn't even need to be saved, but maybe I'll save it and refer back to it another time. But probably in the future ones, these will be written on more, and so I'm gonna wanna save these. But what I've decided to do is I've got my beautiful Japanese Frixion erasable pen with 3 colors, gray, blue, and red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to fill out all the bills that I have due on this calendar. And that is how I've decided to use it. I'm going to use it as a bill tracker, sort of. I think what I want to do is definitely put the dates that the bills are due on. Most of the time, my bills come out, well, most of the time they're due on the same day. I won't say that they're always due, because sometimes the credit cards seem to fluctuate by a day or two, but there are certain things that are always going to be due on the same day. So let's just go ahead and get started with the things that I know are due. And I've got a couple pieces of paper over to the side here to reference because I can't remember everything. But I know on the first always is my mortgage. So I'm going to write that on here. And I typically pay the mortgage with the paycheck that comes mid-month of the month prior. This month I've tried to do it a little bit differently. Actually, I had to do it a little bit differently. So I guess I will bring this back out to reference it. But because this was a magic month, I decided to hold this paycheck and put it into my savings binder. And then I just got paid on the 31st of January. This is going to serve as my second paycheck for January. I'm pretending this one doesn't exist, and we'll see how it works. But so I just paid the mortgage the day after I got paid here. So on the 1st is when I paid my mortgage. The mortgage is due on the 1st, and there's a grace period, so it's fine. But this is what makes me a little bit nervous, is I typically like to pay my bills far enough in advance, at least 2 weeks before they're due. But what I find is that I don't have the cash flow always to do that. So I don't know. I'm trying something new. We'll see how I feel about this. It'll probably take me, little shreds on here. It'll probably take me a month or two to kind of really get into it to see if it works for me. But this is going to help me visualize when everything is due. So the mortgage is due on the 1st. And then I've got a credit card, my Southwest card. So I'm just going to call that SW card. This is always due on the 2nd. And then I think that the statement closes here on the 5th. So I've already paid this card in full, which I will probably still continue to do that. I'm not going to on the 2nd pay this bill. It's usually, it's a big bill. Typically I pay about $1,500 to it, but it includes, it's not just spending, it's bills that I can put onto a credit card so I can earn the points so they can auto draft onto a card instead of auto drafting out of my checking account, which makes me also super nervous because sometimes I feel what if I don't have the money in there, and then I have the fees and all the things. So anyway, my Southwest card is due on the 2nd for the most part. This one's already been paid, so I just know that we're going to be starting this process over, and I'm going to kind of forecast it again. So down here with this paycheck, I will be paying the Southwest card for March. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. My Verizon bill is due on the 5th. And I paid that with the paycheck I just got on January 31st. So again, that's how that works. This paycheck here pays for all of these bills up until the next paycheck. So Barclays card is a credit card that we use for my daughter in college, is typically due on the 9th. This one has not been paid. So I think I'm going to put well, maybe I'll just put a little check mark in red after it's paid, so I know that I have paid this. This one has not been paid. Again, this one still needs to get paid out of this paycheck because it's before the next paycheck. And when I do my cash stuffing, I actually will have the money to pay that. So far, so good. Okay. The next thing is my Amazon card, which I wrote down the 10th. I need to look at a couple different things because I feel like this month the Amazon card is due on the 8th, not the 10th, which that throws me off. So I'm going to write down Amazon card here. And I have not paid this one yet. So that needs to happen because it's, again, before the next paycheck. So this one and this one are both getting paid with this paycheck. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put, if I can find my sticker, maybe I'll just pull this sticker off of here. I'm going to pull a sticker off my January because I don't know where my sticker books went. But I'm going to put this here just so I can kind of remember. I'm going to put January. Okay, there we go. So this is how it's supposed to work. And so far, so good. So we're on to the 8th. And then my Costco card is due here on the 14th. Let me go back to my calendar, see if I forgot anything. We got Verizon, Amazon card, Barclays. Okay, Centerpoint is, I don't know if it's my gas or my water or something, but my Centerpoint bill and my REMC bill are both due around here, so I'm going to put them on the 10th. I think one of these auto drafts and one of them is actually paid, so I'm going to have to look into that, make sure, because again, going to be paid with this paycheck we just had. And then Costco card here and the school loan. So school loan here and the Costco card, which is used for gas. Now, this is what's tricky about this. So this paycheck I will get on the 14th, and then both of these bills are due on the 14th. So do I pay them the day that I get paid, or do I pay them in advance? That's a question, because I don't think I'm going to have enough with this paycheck to pay them. But typically my paycheck for the beginning of the month is usually like around the 6th or 7th. So this is the only question. This is the big question mark for me, is as far as my magic month is concerned, was should I have used that paycheck in the middle of the month instead of saving it out? And then this paycheck, I could have easily paid these. So I may have to pull money out from my savings binder to pay these two. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I'm going to kind of look at all my finances and see what I can do to not have to do it that way. But I mean, that's just the nature of living paycheck to paycheck, right? Is you've got to pay your bills and you've got to figure out what bills are due when. And so the reason or not the reason, but the fact that I'm looking at this and I can see that these bills are due here, if I pay them, will it process in time? That's the question. So the Costco card will probably be fine, because I think I've already paid the Costco card now that I'm saying that out loud. So we'll have to go back and take a look. But it's the school loan that's giving me question marks. Okay. Metronet is my, what is that? It's the internet, and that is due on the 19th, around the 19th. This is one that fluctuates, so when we get the bill, I can adjust that. I pay an escrow payment, which is not really escrow, but I'm going to write that on here anyway. If you've seen any of my, hold on, I can't talk and write at the same time. If you've seen any of my other budgeting or cash stuffing, I do save money of things that we have typically put into escrow. So we used to do our homeowners insurance and our property taxes into escrow, and we don't anymore when we refinanced, but I still save them out as though I do, so that I don't have this humongous bill once a month or twice, or not once a month, once a year or twice a year. And that is actually a very long way of saying I have sinking funds for my homeowner's insurance and my property taxes, but I just call it escrow because it's easier to say. Okay, so then I have Spotify that comes out on here, and that is my daughter's. I am going to probably within the next 6 months transition this over to her paying this, just so she can get used to paying for her stuff. And then on the 29th, I've got car insurance, which is auto drafted, Citizens, and the wastewater all comes out on like 28, 29. So I'm just going to write them all onto the 28th. And I need to see which of these are auto drafted. I have another Apple storage thing. Car insurance, I know that one is auto drafted, and wastewater. That one I actually pay. I just paid that one because of the last paycheck. So yeah, so this is it. I think, let me double check. I think I've got all my credit cards. 9th, First Mortgage, escrow, Verizon, Southwest, loan, Costco card. Yep. I don't know. I think this might be all the bills I have. It feels like there's not enough. I feel like something's missing. So I'll double check that. But now let's go over, and I'm going to just show you, in theory, in a perfect world, this is how this would work, is that I got paid on the 31st. And with that, I would pay my mortgage, my Southwest card, my Verizon, my Amazon card, the Barclays card, the REMC, and CenterPoint, and probably these as well. Then I'm going to get paid on the 14th, and I can pay everything that comes after that. So I can pay the Metronet bill, this escrow amount, and the Apple storage, and Spotify. And then I'm going to get paid again here, but this technically is going to probably be like the first, it's going to actually be like, it's going to operate, I should say, as the first paycheck of March. Because what's going to happen here, so this is February 28th, and then we're going to have the next paycheck be on the 14th, which is really, really far. And then again on the 28th of March, which is weird, but that's just how the numbers go. So I think what I'm saying is it's going to take some time for my first paycheck of the year, my first paycheck of the month and my second paycheck of the month to kind of re-up themselves and move back up into the month, because typically it's this week and this week. It's usually like around the 5th to the 7th and then around the 19th to the 21st. That's when my paychecks usually are. But because of that magic month, they shifted down. So I don't like it. I've decided, I'm deciding it right now as I say this out loud. I think that when I have a magic month, I don't think I'm going to be able to save out the whole paycheck like I did, because it's just too tight with paycheck to paycheck. And if I was month ahead, I wouldn't have these issues. So in any case, I'm still going to keep it in there. I need to figure out what to do with this. And then I'm going to project ahead to March and just make sure that I've got enough cash in the paychecks to cover everything. But this visual is really going to help me, because now I can go back, and when I pay everything off, I will mark it on here with red and be able to see what is still going to be coming in the future and when the paychecks will fall. So how that's going to impact that. So I hope this was helpful. I feel like it's complicated, and this is exactly what I don't want. I don't want it to be complicated, but now I know, that for me, using a magic month pay to hold back is probably not the best idea. But I've already done it. I haven't spent it. It's still in my binder, but I don't want to take it out. I want to leave it in there. And I want to use it to pay my cat debt. So we'll see if I can do it. Hopefully, if you've got any tips, if you're looking at this and if I'm forgetting something, or if you feel like I missed something or I'm not looking at something the right way, let me know in the comments, because I would love your feedback. But I think this is what we've got for this month. So this note section is actually going to be really helpful too, because I'm probably going to put down some notes about, like look at March bills. I mean, essentially they'll be the same. The mortgage for March will be due on the 1st. So again, like it's going to be due right here. Again, just like January, the day after we get paid, the mortgage will be due. So that's not going to be a problem. But my Southwest card will also be due the day after I get paid. So or 2 days after. So as long as I'm remembering to like pay that, it shouldn't be an issue. But what I think becomes the question is like the mid-month kind of stuff. So that's it. That's exciting. I love this calendar. I'm so thrilled about it. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. I want to look back and see. Yeah, it goes till December. So that makes sense. No January. Sometimes I like when when a calendar has like the extra month, like the January one, just to kind of like give you a buffer for getting a new calendar, but that's okay. For $1.50, I'll take it. If you haven't gone to see what your Dollar Tree has in terms of desk calendars and you think this would be helpful, definitely go take a look. Desk calendars are not exclusive to Dollar Tree. Dollar General might have them. If you've got like a Five Below, they might have something like a desk calendar. Walmart probably has them. I'm sure Amazon, like there's lots and lots of places you can get desk calendars. Hopefully you can find one cheap. And if not, you could certainly make one and just print it out. That's what I used to do. In fact, this is my October one. I just printed it on a piece of paper and used it this way. But I found that it wasn't, I really need it bigger. Like this to me is how it's going to make sense to me the best. So there we go. Thanks so much for watching. I will work on this and then report back when I get paid again, and I'll let you know how it's going. So around Valentine's Day, you can expect to see this desk calendar again, but I hope this was helpful. I hope you get yourself one, and I'll see you in the next one.